Played basketball since I was 5, super tomboy, didn't like dresses. Everyone thought I was a little boy because I wore Jordan and all these different types of athletic clothes.
Tracy Martin has known Erika for years. Now, allegedly, she was with Erika when Mikey and Elizabeth called. My question is why?
The conservative movement is getting shaken up by allegations so intense they've left insiders stunned. What started as whispers behind closed doors is now blowing up in public, and even Erika Kirk's most loyal supporters are starting to question everything they believed about her. Anonymous sources inside Turning Point USA are stepping forward with claims that could seriously damage the polished image she worked so hard to build. And at the center of it all is one massive accusation that has people talking nonstop. According to these sources, Erika Kirk's entire marriage to Charlie was built on deception. This isn't about normal relationship struggles or private disagreements. The claim is that Erika allegedly hid her true sexual orientation to secure influence, using her marriage as a strategic move to climb higher in political circles. Insiders even suggest she kept secret relationships during the marriage, raising serious questions about what was real and what was just a calculated move for power and status. Some sources are even claiming there were relationships Charlie may not have known about, possibly until close to his passing. That detail alone has people shaken. The picture now being painted is of someone very different from the public image Erika has presented for years. Insiders describe a woman who allegedly crafted a carefully managed identity, playing a role, shaping perceptions, and controlling the narrative around her. And the most shocking part of all? Multiple insiders are now saying that Candace Owens has been sitting on video evidence for months. According to these claims, it's footage that could back up these accusations, and she's supposedly waiting for the perfect moment to drop it. That rumor alone has set off serious tension behind the scenes. Now attention is turning to the digital trail Erika reportedly thought was erased, because the internet does not forget. Investigators digging into her social media history say they found years of posts, photos, and interactions that tell a story very different from the one she's been presenting to the public. The first major red flag showed up when independent researchers noticed a pattern in how people from Erika's inner circle talked about her relationships.
You're with your mother, and your mother is receiving a treatment, and your mother is vulnerable. Why are you bringing Tracy with you? In fact, I'm being told that her and her mother were not together. Now, I can tell you, like I said, that Tracy has known Erika for 15 years.
Before Charlie ever entered the picture, multiple friends regularly referred to her romantic partners using female pronouns. Not once or twice. Not as a joke, but consistently, over several years. These didn't read like simple mistakes. This was how people who personally knew Erika described her life behind the scenes. One exchange from early 2017 grabbed serious attention. A mutual friend posted a photo from what looked like a cozy dinner gathering. The caption reportedly said something like, "Double date night with the girls." In the comments, someone tagged Erika and mentioned her better half being beautiful. On its own, that moment might not raise eyebrows, but critics point out that it's just one example in a long list of similar posts and interactions that have resurfaced, and together they're being framed as a pattern that's hard to ignore. What makes this even more intense is the timing. During that same period, Erika was publicly claiming in interviews that she was living a celibate life in New York, focused only on her career, not dating, and waiting for God to bring her the right man. That was the message she shared with her conservative audience. But critics argue that her social media activity from that time paints a very different picture. According to archived posts and resurfaced interactions, she appeared to be in a relationship. It just wasn't something she openly discussed with her political followers. That contrast is what has people raising serious questions. Now, former acquaintances from her New York modeling days are speaking out anonymously. One person who says they worked with her described Erika as open about her personal preferences in private settings. But as she began stepping into conservative political spaces, this same source claims she became far more guarded and selective about what she shared publicly.
The Romanian Angels, yeah, that was a project that a bunch of us were blessed to be a part of because Erika put it together. And we would get a wish list around Christmas time, and it was from children who wanted nothing more than barrettes.
This individual alleges that Erika made a deliberate decision to separate her private life from her public persona because she believed certain aspects of her identity would not be widely accepted in the circles she wanted to enter. And that's where the accusations get even heavier. Critics argue she saw an opportunity for influence and carefully reshaped her image to fit that world. The timeline of this transformation, according to those digging into it, is what many now find the most revealing part of the entire situation. Erika's older social media posts show a version of her that looks very different from the one many people later came to know. She shared photos at Pride events. She used rainbow emojis. She interacted openly with LGBTQ+ content. Critics point out that she appeared comfortable in public about that phase of her life. Then around late 2017 into early 2018, something noticeably shifted. The rainbow posts slowed down. Photos with certain companions became less frequent. Even the tone of her captions and comments started to change. Observers who have tracked the timeline say this was the same period when Erika began stepping into conservative spaces. She started attending right-leaning events. She followed conservative influencers. She commented on political content that aligned with that audience. To critics, it looked strategic. They claim she was studying the culture, learning the language, and shaping a persona that would fit perfectly into that world. By late 2018, she had built connections within conservative circles and eventually met Charlie. According to those making these allegations, she understood the image that resonated most strongly in that community. A traditional woman, grounded in faith, committed to certain values. From there, she began sharing a personal story about being celibate in New York, focusing on God and waiting for the right man.
Kirk has been a dear friend of mine for almost 15 years. We have done multiple projects together. She wrote the foreword to my book. The photo that has been circulating around that says a Left Eye Club, this is the cuff that she's wearing.
Supporters say it was growth. Critics argue it was calculated reinvention. Charlie reportedly believed her completely. And supporters say that's not surprising. Erika was confident, polished, and knew exactly how to speak the language of conservative politics. She echoed the right values, shared the right stories, and presented herself as someone who aligned perfectly with his worldview. From the outside, it looked like a natural match. Critics now claim he had no reason to suspect that the image she presented might have been carefully practiced or strategically shaped over time. But this is where the allegations become even more serious. According to multiple unnamed sources, Erika did not fully close the door on certain past relationships when she married Charlie. Instead, they claim those connections allegedly became more private and discreet. The word being used by critics is underground, suggesting that if anything continued, it was handled far more cautiously than before. At the center of these claims is Tracy Martin. Sources say Tracy is not a new figure in Erika's life. She has reportedly been around for more than 15 years. She was present during the New York modeling years. She was part of Erika's life during earlier phases. And according to those making these allegations, she remained a constant presence even as Erika's public image dramatically evolved. Throughout Erika's marriage to Charlie, people digging into the timeline say they uncovered photos of Erika and Tracy together stretching back more than a decade. In some of the older pictures, critics argue the body language looks deeply familiar. They aren't standing stiffly like casual friends. They appear close, relaxed, and fully at ease with each other. That's the interpretation some observers are now pushing. When it comes to photos taken during the years Erika was married, the images appear more polished and controlled, more public, more careful, but critics claim that if you pay close attention, the connection between them still seems strong and consistent. Publicly, Tracy referred to herself as Erika's best friend. That's the label that was used. But individuals who say they saw them together in person tell a more layered story. One attendee from Dream City Church, where both women reportedly spent time, described seeing them frequently side by side. According to this account, they often arrived together, sat together, and left together. The level of familiarity, this source claims, appeared deeper than typical friendship. And according to those investigating these claims, there is one more detail that they believe changes everything.
Jillian replied to one of Erika's tweets by saying, @Erika Francvi, gorgeous as always. A few hours later, she then tweeted, why did @Erika Francvi just send me this? Laughing emojis. And there is a photo which says, this Valentine's Day, I am going to touch your butt. Jillian posted this tweet on March 6, 2014. So Erika says, let me call you, hold on sweetheart, give me a wow. And then Jillian says, okay, and puts laughing emojis. Erika then says, sex too, but not from you, lol. Holy laughing emoji. You always make me laugh.
On the day Charlie Kirk died, Erika has reportedly given more than one account of where she was. In one interview, she said she was at the hospital with her mother. In another, she claims she was at home when she received the call. Those different timelines have already raised eyebrows, but according to sources connected to Candace Owens, neither version is accurate. These sources allege that Erika was actually out of state with Tracy Martin on what they describe as a romantic trip. If that claim were ever proven true, the fallout would be massive. Charlie was in Utah preparing to give a speech, and his wife was not by his side. She wasn't even in the same state, according to these allegations. Critics argue that when news of his death broke, there may have been pressure to quickly explain her location. The story about being at the hospital, presented as a devoted daughter at her mother's bedside, is now being questioned by those pushing this narrative. Candace's supporters claim there are receipts, travel records, photos, possibly even video, one that could place Erika somewhere entirely different from where she publicly said she was. If any evidence like that surfaces, observers say it would not just challenge one statement, it would reopen scrutiny on everything she has said before. Now the focus shifts to the Romanian orphanage project, and this is where critics say the situation becomes deeply troubling. During her New York years, Erika frequently promoted this charity online. She shared photos alongside young women and spoke about supporting vulnerable children. She encouraged donations and described the mission as meaningful and urgent. But investigators who later tried to trace the organization say they struggled to find clear documentation confirming how it operated. According to those raising questions, there are no easily accessible financial records, no visible incorporation paperwork, and no confirmed 501c3 nonprofit status connected to the name that was promoted. Critics also claim they have not found independent proof showing how funds were distributed or which children directly benefited. What remains publicly visible are photos of Erika and Tracy with young Eastern European women, shared across social media platforms during that period. Given the broader allegations about image control and secrecy, some observers now say those charity posts deserve closer scrutiny. Romania has long faced serious human trafficking concerns, particularly involving vulnerable young women from low-income backgrounds. That context has intensified online speculation. However, no official findings have publicly linked Erika or Tracy to wrongdoing. Still, critics argue that the lack of transparency, clear records, and detailed reporting leaves unanswered questions that continue to spark debate. What was really happening at that orphanage? Who exactly were those young women? Where are they now? Were they truly receiving help? Or is there more to the story that has not been explained? These are serious questions, and critics argue they deserve careful, fact-based investigation by the proper authorities if credible evidence ever surfaces. Because if any organization were ever used as a front for exploitation, that would move this beyond image management and into potential criminal territory. That is why some observers say transparency is critical. Now, supporters of Candace's claims point to what they describe as a broader pattern. They reference alleged inappropriate online messages involving a 15-year-old, which would be extremely serious if proven true. They mention the secrecy surrounding the Romanian project. They bring up the alleged hidden relationships and the carefully managed public persona. Critics argue this combination does not look like isolated missteps, but a repeated strategy of control and concealment. Erika, through her public roles, had access to many people through charitable work, political activism, and her marriage to Charlie. Detractors claim she positioned herself as a mentor, a supporter, someone trustworthy. The question being raised by critics is whether that influence was always handled appropriately.
What do you think about Erika Kirk?
Erika Kirk? Oh.
What do you think about Erika Kirk?
Would I get sued?
Throw it in the pile.
Oh,
of course you will.
I don't want to say anything that's controversial. She did it, but I don't want. She was honest.
It is important to note that these are allegations and interpretations being circulated by opponents, not proven findings. Still, those pushing this narrative insist that every connection, message, and organization should be examined closely to separate rumor from fact. Critics argue that the 15-year-old involved in the alleged messages is simply the only case that became public because screenshots were preserved. They question whether there were other conversations that were never saved or never shared. Those raising these concerns ask how many young people Erika may have communicated with privately and whether any boundaries were crossed. These are serious accusations, and if true, they would demand careful investigation by authorities. However, it is important to stress that allegations are not the same as proven facts. The screenshots that have circulated online allegedly show messages that many people find troubling. Critics point to comments complimenting a minor's appearance, references that they interpret as inappropriate, and claims of gifts or private meetups being discussed. They describe this as behavior that raises red flags. Erika's supporters, on the other hand, argue that the exchanges are being misrepresented and taken out of context. Defenders say the relationship with Tracy was friendship, that the Romanian charity had a legitimate purpose, and that the messages with the teenager were harmless communication. Critics respond by asking how many separate controversies can be brushed off as coincidence. They claim there is a pattern emerging, while supporters insist there is a coordinated effort to damage her reputation. At this stage, what exists publicly are competing narratives, strong accusations, and intense scrutiny. Critics are stacking up the accusations fast. They claim she lied about her sexuality, lied about where she was when Charlie died, lied about past relationships. They question the transparency of the organization she promoted and argue it lacked accountability. They also point to the alleged inappropriate contact with a minor as deeply concerning. Now, opponents say she is positioning herself in spaces that give her influence around more young people through school-related initiatives. Meanwhile, Candace Owens is said to have been watching closely, collecting information and documenting every detail. According to unnamed sources, Candace allegedly has video evidence that could support claims about Erika's relationship with Tracy and challenge her timeline about Charlie's death. Supporters of Candace insist this material will expose what they call a carefully crafted public identity. The big question circulating online is why that evidence has not yet been released. Some believe it is a strategic move. They speculate Candace may be waiting for Erika to make additional public statements so that, if evidence is revealed, it directly contradicts her on record. Others suggest there could be legal considerations, making sure documentation is solid and defensible before anything goes public. Whatever the reason, anticipation is clearly growing. At the same time, critics interpret Erika's recent behavior as defensive. They say she appears focused on managing her image and pushing back hard against anyone who questions her. Supporters argue she is simply responding to what they see as relentless attacks. Right now, the situation feels tense, and both sides are digging in as scrutiny intensifies. Critics claim Erika knows serious allegations are building, and that more information could surface at any moment. They argue she is preparing her defense, shaping her narrative, and positioning herself as someone under attack. Supporters say she is simply responding to intense public scrutiny. But according to those backing Candace, when, or if, that video evidence is released, they believe it will dramatically shift the conversation. Then there's the question of Charlie. Some online commentators speculate about whether he ever had doubts or unanswered questions before his death. Others firmly reject that idea and warn against turning tragedy into speculation. To be clear, there is no verified evidence suggesting Erika had any involvement in Charlie's death. However, critics point to what they describe as conflicting public statements, unanswered timeline questions, and the swift changes that followed as reasons they want further clarity. Supporters argue that internet theories can quickly spiral without proof. Detractors insist that only a thorough, fact-based review by proper authorities, not online rumors, can separate speculation from reality. Right now, what exists are strong opinions, serious accusations, and a demand from both sides for answers grounded in evidence. This story is far from over, and the questions are only getting louder. Allegations, denials, rumored evidence, and shifting timelines have turned this into one of the most talked about controversies in conservative circles. If you want updates as this unfolds, make sure you like, subscribe, share this video, and drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your voice matters, and this conversation is just getting started.